time for our picks.
Okay, let's do it.
Bradley took the lead last week.
Yeah.
I went 1-2. He went 2-1. I went against my gut. I did the emotional hedge. I'm a moron. I knew that the Giants +6 was the better pick. I was sold on Jaguars +2. I'm owning that, but we would have washed because we both picked that. That would have been a wash in the competition at least. And the Bengals -2, I was happy about that, even though it looked like they were going to lose for a little while. I knew that I should have done the Giants +6. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that the Chiefs and the Bills was a toss-up game. And now the Bills actually just look a lot better. But I didn't. So here we are.
Can't believe I'm over 500. I'm so jazzed.
Well, we'll see now. We'll see this week.
Yeah, basically, yeah, I'm kind of, yeah, the Jags pick did not pan out for both of us, but I just think I took easy money. I feel like with the Vikings going up against the Dolphins' third stringer, who was also injured, so Teddy Bridgewater had to come back into the game.
Yeah,
and I was really just banking on the Seahawks offense continuing to do what they've been doing, and the defense held on just enough for it to be okay for me.
No,
your
Seahawks were good.
Seahawks are truly looking like one of the worst defenses in the league. Besides the Lions, which might be the worst defense in NFL history if they keep this up. But
let's see what I have picked for this week. Now that you say that, because I'm about to screw myself over. I don't know. I mean. Should I change it? I can't change it. We're on air. Damn it. All right, I'm picking the Lions +7 against the Cowboys. Now, hear me out. Okay? Hear me out. Dak Prescott's coming off that injury. He's apparently going to play. He didn't look that great on week 1, by the way. And
they didn't. They truly didn't. I mean, and like you said, he's coming off an injury, and they didn't even look that feisty when he was playing.
He's coming off an injury, and Detroit's coming off a bye. +7. Detroit's been recovering a lot this year.
Yeah.
I still think Dallas is going to win the game, but I feel like it's going to be pretty close. Detroit's well rested. They might be able to get DeAndre Swift back, who is top 10 running back in the league when healthy. And so I felt like it was too much. And so I went with Detroit +7. And I'm considering in my mind, I'm like, I wish I actually did Packers -4.5 at Washington, but I just can't. I don't have faith in the Packers right now. And Taylor Heineke might give the team some sort of emotional uplift because I know they hate Carson Wentz and now he's out. So
and Heineke, to his credit, like he's a super limited quarterback, but he at the very least has even when they made that first round like wild card playoff game, he was like doing pretty well for his talent level and like the moment given like his pedigree.
Yeah.
Like
no, he's a ballsy player.
Yeah,
that's
the
thing.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's like he actually is pretty gutsy for a guy who just is not that skilled. And so like I just do wonder. I there's a part of me that could see him actually playing decently well to the point where it might just seem more amenable to them for like Wentz to not. Like even when Wentz, like I could actually see them having to consider whether Heineke is a better starting option than Wentz.
But and no one likes Wentz. None of the team rallies around him. And those things matter. I really take that into consideration.
No, 100%.
The reason I'm taking this into consideration is I think Dak might be rushing himself back. He's been wearing that brace,
and he's just now starting to not wear it. It seems.
And all it takes is just a little bit of hesitation on your throws and a little bit just like fear and not being able to grip the football with your thumb when you're spiraling it like that. That's the kind of hinge at the very end. That's the last, that's the stabilizing force on the ball. So my sense is just that the Detroit Lions are going to keep it close and maybe backdoor cover at some point. That's why I went with them. And once again, Bradley and I have matching picks, picking against the Colts, by the way. But
shocker,
you have a Thursday Night Football pick, which is ballsy.
Yeah, I'm doing it. If you guys have already seen, obviously, I'll get to my third pick. Also, I'm doing a few ballsy things here. This in the sense that, well, of course, I'm picking two favorites this time. So the underdog is losing his moniker a little bit this time around. But I'm picking the Thursday game, and I'm picking my team to win.
That was. That's the opposite of an emotional hedge. You're doing what I should have done last
Yeah,
week.
no, I'm leaning into the head. I'm leaning into the madness, the chaos.
But you are leaning into Russell Wilson hatred, which I also appreciate.
So that's what I think is the fun of the combo here too, is that it's a Jets pick, but it's also an anti-Russ pick. Good for the show.
Okay.
So my first pick though, taking the Cardinals -2.5 over the Saints is, I'm hoping that DeAndre Hopkins returning gives some revitalization to this kind of like bland and static offense, and that maybe it gives a little bit of a shove in the right direction for Kyler Murray to have just a clear number one option.
I could see that.
So if he looks good, and also to their credit, the Cardinals defense has been pretty fun to watch and pretty exciting and kind of feisty. Like Vance Joseph, their defensive coordinator, is really good at just kind of crafting these kind of unorthodox blitz packages.
Don't you mean future interim head coach?
Yes, future interim head coach, former Broncos head coach Vance Joseph. Definitely. Probably see if Cliff Kingsbury gets the boot midseason, that there'll certainly be that carousel running at that point for Vance. But just because also frankly he's done a good job, like he's at like that
unit looks more impressive than the offense,
totally,
which has a very high paid quarterback,
which Kingsbury's even acknowledged that he might need to cede play calling duties because it's just it's not looking correct.
He sucks.
Yeah, I just think he hasn't made that many adjustments, and I don't trust him as an offensive play caller. But I think the defense, combined with potentially some good combinations coming from Murray and Hopkins, I could see this being a bit of a bounce back for those guys. And I'm just not, despite the pieces, the Saints are still really banged up on the offense. Like, Kamara's not fully healthy, Michael Thomas is not fully healthy, like Jameis obviously is not fully healthy, so like the QB situation is not fully cleared up yet. And the defense, despite the pieces, again, they don't seem that. I thought they were going to be a much more formidable unit than they have been. I mean, Cam Jordan's still there. Cam Jordan's still great. Marcus Davenport still is pretty decent. They have Tyrann Mathieu. They just haven't really put it together. So I'm kind of just banking on the potential upside of the Hopkins-Murray pairing returning on this one.
Okay. I mean, if I were to pick, and maybe we will at the end of the episode, I'm going to pick the Saints to win. I think Andy Dalton's actually played pretty well. Seems like he's starting. And the Taysom Hill factor is formidable, and so
no, and I think it was 2 weeks ago. It wasn't this past week, but he had an amazing game. He had two rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown. So when he's utilized correctly and they scheme him up properly, he's a really unique weapon for them. He's such a Swiss Army knife.
I know. Well, he can't play quarterback, which they thought he could for a little while.
Exactly. If anything, what they I think his one pass attempt, he had a touchdown, but honestly, what he was doing was getting stuff going on the ground.
What's your pick for tonight? Let's just get that out of the way now.
Okay.
Score. I know who you're picking to win.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say Cardinals 20. Wait, so I think I'm going to say Cardinals 23, Saints 20.
Okay, I'm going to check what the over-under is on this. Which 44. So, what'd you say? 23?
Yeah, so I would be taking the under there.
Yeah,
which I am going to.
I think a lot of people are taking the under.
I'm definitely I'm gonna hammer that under for sure.
I'm gonna say 2017 Saints.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I don't feel that strongly about it. I just feel like I think they're the better team. So
no, and I think you're probably right.
But they're at home. Like the Cardinals are at home.
Yeah, which
yeah. Although they've lost a bunch at home,
yeah.
So that doesn't really matter. I think they're on an 8-game.
Yeah, I was going to say that
tonight's the night.
Yeah, I don't think
Thursday
a lot.
Night football's weird. So.
It is weird, but I truly don't think. I think a lot of the betting specs are not in my favor here. So we'll see how this goes. Me taking this so-called favorite on Thursday Night Football.
So. Indianapolis Colts at Tennessee Titans -2.5. This one was the thing that stuck out to me the most, and Bradley and I are in agreement. We do these separately, and then we just sometimes end up with the same pick, or opposite picks, and then we push that one time, but on the Ravens Bills game. But I just feel like they're the better team. Titans
Agreed.
Coming off a bye. Hopefully they're a little bit more healthy. I think that even without,
they're just better coached. Like they're simply just a better coach team. Like I just think like regardless of depth, regardless of talent, I'm just always thinking that Mike Vrabel is going to coach up this team. Not even saying Frank Reich's a bad coach. It's more just this Colts team has just not looked good basically at any point in any juncture or with any unit really. They just have not looked up to the task.
And I just feel like, look, I understand the Titans. I mean, not the Titans. The Colts had their best win of the season last week. I believe that they played shockingly well, even though Matt Ryan seemed to be throwing every pass imaginable. I think he had a bunch of pass attempts that he didn't complete all of them, but he was feeding like Alec Pierce, who I knew I should have taken late in fantasy rounds as a keeper, but
which I think is the right move. It's like he's there. You might as well do it. He's a reliable ball catcher.
I like him as a player.
He's got a good build. He was always a really smart like heads up guy in Cincinnati. Like I think if you're gonna route some of your offense, it's not every single pass play has to go through freaking Jelani Woods. They're
or Michael Pittman.
Yeah, they're 6'8", should be offensive lineman tight end.
I just think that though it's a bad matchup for them because I think Jeffrey Simmons is going to wreak havoc on the interior.
Totally.
I know Quentin Nelson is going to be playing on the interior, but they're going to find creative ways to get that defensive front around Quentin Nelson and have creative packages, I think. So my even though I know that they had that defensive end that tore his ACL and is out for the year, I still think that their front is more formidable.
Harold Landry?
Yeah. More, right?
No. Oh, no, I think it's the other way. I think Simmons is out.
No.
Oh,
no.
Landry? It's not Landry?
This is good producing. Yeah, it is Landry. It is Landry.
Landry's out.
Yes,
yeah,
Landry's
right.
out. No, Simmons has been playing. Simmons has been playing well.
Yeah.
Right. Who I really like as a player.
No, Simmons is great. He's a real, and that's I guess part of my thing too is just like, yes,
they're going to make Matt Ryan uncomfortable.
Nelson on the left side, obviously, he's like probably the best at his peak. He's probably the best left guard in the league, but the Ryan Kelly at center with Matt Ryan combination looks so disjointed. They just don't look like they fully like trust each other or like know or like gel with each other yet. And all the other pieces on the line, despite what they've spent on that line, are just not playing well together.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure one guy who, by the way, I mean, despite being a great piece to have back on the line and healthy, I just don't know if that's going to be enough for the entire line to hold up.
Right. So we're both on this game.
Yeah.
We both think the Titans will win by a field goal. For me, I'm taking the Chiefs in San Francisco or wherever they are in Levi's Stadium.
right.
They're pretty far. That's why it's like
San
people
Francisco.
are like, the Giants are from New Jersey. East Rutherford is way closer to New York than wherever the hell the San Francisco Stadium is.
Yeah, the Bears don't
San
play in
Francisco.
Chicago proper.
Enough.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. I mean, it's New York the city, not New York the state, people. Anyway, but I just feel like the Chiefs are going to get right this week against a really banged up 49ers team. They're so banged up. The thing about the Chiefs' injuries is I know that Trent McDuffie's questionable. I know their other secondary player is questionable, Fenton. But I don't trust Jimmy G to get the ball, to be able to exploit that fully. Most of the runs that they're going to have will be design runs or design pass plays where guys are open. But when it gets to the red zone, I just feel like the Chiefs will be able to clamp down. I know that the Chiefs have struggled against the spread since Tyreek Hill has left town. Man coverage has given Patrick Mahomes more fits than I initially thought. So I feel the least confident in this. Well, I don't even know anymore. But I will say that no Kinlaw, Trent Williams, we don't know what his status is.
That's the thing,
defensive starters on the 49ers are just not, they're banged up. They're not healthy. And so
Bosa's not healthy. Emmanuel Mosley's out for the season. Like it's not the team that, that they started with this season where, everyone was kind of, I mean, listen, the linebackers are going to fly around and bear down on free runners and stuff like, and running backs, tight ends, whoever, like they're going to be flying around the formation and the scheme, and like the banshees that they are. That's just how like D'Amico Ryans and Kyle Shanahan defenses play. But it's more just like the quality of the player, and also they are going to be relying on so many reserves. Like not even Talanoa Hufanga, who's like been one of their most improved and impressive exciting safeties. Even he's a little banged up. So like all around the depth chart, they're just really kind of stricken by injuries. So like if the Chiefs could capitalize on this kind of weakness that the 49ers usually don't have and didn't really have earlier in the season, I think it would be today. I mean, it would be Sunday.
Yeah, I just feel like they might be able to run the ball with, I know that that's a lot to ask of an Andy Reid led team, but
right.
but I just feel like they're going to have to get right. The Chiefs are
100%.
oddly tied with the Chargers right now, even though the Chargers
so
looked terrible. But they have to get right after
Totally.
last week.
I think we got to see the points differential there for
Also,
both,
you're
both
getting
those teams.
totally critiqued because the Soldier Field is in Chicago.
Wait, I thought it was in Rosemont or Arlington Heights. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the Bears to catch a stray for no reason.
No, it's in Chicago. Yeah, no, Bears. You are corrected and smacked down.
Yeah, I stand corrected. Apologies, folks.
But that's cool that it's in Chicago
Oh, that
proper.
is nice,
I've got to
actually, yeah.
go. I want to go to Soldier Field. Anyway, final pick, Bradley.
That is a Jets
Win
against the Broncos
in Denver.
+1. Yeah, baby.
I mean,
So
Zach Wilson's playing better than Russell Wilson right now.
Oh yeah,
Battle
it's gonna
of
be
the
Wilson v. Wilson.
Wilsons.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing. I think with this pick, I know it's playing with dynamite here because of my affiliation for the team. It's away. It's only a point. They're dogs. I understand that. But I'm just thinking, and I also know that this defense is good. Like, I actually don't think the Broncos defense is bad.
They're very good, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a well coached unit from first year coordinator Ejiro Evero from the Rams.
Right.
He's done
Pat Surtain's playing like the best corner in the NFL.
Surtain is a lockdown, unbelievable corner. I think Randy Gregory might be. I'm not entirely sure how healthy he is, but honestly, it hasn't really been mattering because in his place, Baron Browning has been
56?
playing. Yeah, he's been playing with his
right.
hair on fire the last
Right.
few weeks. He's just so bendy. He's so fast, and he's just been flying at the quarterback. So like I'm not underestimating this defense by any stretch. I just think the combination of the clock management and the game management stuff still bothering this Broncos team and coach Nathaniel Hackett. I think Russ still not playing up to his potential at all, and also the line continuing to show their lack of discipline. Like Cushenberry drew a bunch of penalties. Garrett Bowles, I think, was a similar thing, just like drawing flags left and right. I mean, it just is not. Those errors add up into yardage, and if that continues, they will continue to give the Jets better field position if that happens. And Quinnen Williams and Carl Lawson and Sheldon Rankins played like three of the best pass rushers in the league last week against the Packers. If they can get pressure on Russ like that, who is not fully healthy to begin with, I think that increases the chances a lot. And if the creativity of the run game, be it with either Zach Wilson running the ball himself on designed runs or Breece Hall and Michael Carter on different runs that kind of maximize their skill sets, or if Braxton Berrios takes some runs out of the backfield, the run game has been the most exciting and dynamic component of that offense. If they can keep pounding the rock like that in those ways, combined with the pass rush getting home, and if the Broncos continue to sort of be the Broncos with a great defense and a hapless offense and hapless coaching, I just could see the Jets stealing this one.
Yeah, I could totally see it. It's such a coin flip for me, but I think they're the better team overall right now.
Yeah, because I guess the thing is just the Jets have won their last 3 in a row, and it hasn't been all scrubs. I mean, yes, they beat the they beat the third string Dolphins quarterback. They beat the Steelers with Kenny Pickett's first half of football. But I don't think a whole lot of people were expecting to go into Lambeau and win by double digits.
Right.
So I just think this team has some actual momentum, and if they can continue to grow on what they've been cultivate what they've been doing well, I think that could also lead to the Broncos continuing to be doing what they're doing poorly. It's really just going to be the Broncos defense to me that I think decides this. If they really are just playing with like
But how much can they do at this point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're
if they
probably
don't have a whole lot of
exhausted and
offense.
pissed off for
That's
carrying
the
that
thing.
team.
That's the thing. And it's kind of the same way I felt like with the Chargers. I honestly kind of think the Chargers and Broncos are weirdly in similar situations in that because not necessarily because I think Herbert's playing as poorly as Russ. I just more mean like these team situations are making both sides of the ball are essentially making the other side's job harder.
Yeah.
Because they're just not executing for one another at all.